Oh, actually, Your Honor, I do want to renew my motions.
Well, you want to wait till after the rebuttal evidence?
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's give them a chance. Okay. Commonwealth's rebuttal evidence?
Thank you, Your Honor. It's been sorry. Your Honor, the Commonwealth would call Detective Steven Augustine.
All right. Detective Augustine?
Please, Madam Clerk, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to testify truthfully in this case under penalty of law?
I do.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
Good.
Can you please state and spell your name for the court record?
Sure. Detective Steven Augustine, that's STEPHEN Augustine.
Thank you, Detective Augustine. And can you tell us what it is you do for Fairfax County Police Department?
I've been a law enforcement officer for 24 years, the last 20 of which I've been with the Fairfax County Police Department. The last 12 years I've been a detective in the Technical Investigations Unit, Forensic Audio and Video Section.
Can you tell me about your training and education that led you to forensic audio analysis?
Sure. I possess a master's degree in audio technology as well as a master's degree in forensic science. Prior to my career here at Fairfax, I was a full-time instructor at American University in the audio technology department, teaching audio technology, electronics, and digital audio.
Have you previously testified as an expert in forensic audio analysis?
I've testified as an expert in forensic video analysis. I'm not sure if they qualified it as audio and video at the time.
All right. Is there anything about video analysis and your training for video analysis that differs or limits your ability as an audio expert?
No.
All right. Judge, at this time, I'm going to offer him as an expert in forensic audio analysis.
Any objection? Sure.
Good afternoon, Detective Augustine.
Good afternoon, Mr. Carroll.
Sir, you heard Nick Barrero testify, correct?
I did.
Okay, and in terms of some of the concepts that he was talking about, are you familiar with those?
I am.
Okay.
Yes.
And so you've worked with and are you familiar with spectrographic analysis?
Yes.
Okay, and how many times have you worked in that capacity in the audio side of things?
On the audio side of things, for the past 12 years, I've done all of the forensic audio examinations and analysis for the police department.
And does that work, is that related to, and have you used spectrographic analysis in all of them?
No.
Okay, so what are the circumstances where spectrographic analysis is utilized?
In this particular case, he used it to provide a visual representation of what the audio was, what the sound was. So you're able to visualize what the sound is.
And in your 12 years on the police force and working in this capacity, have you done that before?
This?
Yes.
No.
Okay. Is that a tool that's used by people that are audio forensic
Sure, it
analysis?
can be a tool, yes.
Okay. Have you used waveform as a methodology?
Yes, waveform analysis, yes. And I'm familiar with spectrograph analysis as well.
Okay, but you've used waveform. For example, when you're doing what he did on a case, you're using tools. You didn't use spectrographic analysis in any previous case, but
Correct.
waveform.
Yes,
Okay, and so would that be something that you would utilize on a regular basis?
yes.
Is that something that's crucial to audio analysis?
I wouldn't say it's crucial, but I think it's common across all the forensic audio software.
Now, did you hear him discussing fundamental frequency informants?
I did,
Okay.
yes.
Did you agree with that?
I agreed with scientific principles, yes, that he presented.
Now, in your analysis over 12 years, did you use those scientific principles of fundamental frequency informants?
Yes,
Now, in this instance, did you do an independent test regarding these sounds?
I looked at him via the waveform, but I was asked by prosecution to look at his exemplary report and comment on what he had provided.
So there was no analysis done with regard to the known quantities?
There was no further analysis done aside from critical listening.
Okay. Judge, I don't have an objection to him as an expert.
All right, so we'll move him in as a forensic audio expert.
Thank you. All right. Now that you're an expert, can you tell us about your analysis of the defense work in this case?
Sure. I don't have a copy of the work in front of me, but the first few pages are just stating properties that were used in his examination and his forensic analysis, which include waveform analysis, spectrographic analysis.
And did you draw any conclusions from your review of the materials regarding the likelihood of a, let's call it, match between the Lilly 3 sample and the exemplar from the 911 call?
I did not hear him state that it was a match. He stated in his testimony that it's consistent between the two samples, which I concur, but there's also some further explanation that I think.
What is the further explanation that you think is warranted here?
Would it be possible for me to see a physical copy of the report?
The entire report or just the spectrograph?
Spectrograph is fine.
Judge, if I may approach the witness?
Yeah, you've seen this, I assume?
Yep, I'll give you one. Well, he's paying attention. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so let's talk about this. Do you recognize that document?
I do.
Okay, what do you recognize it to be?
This is a concatenation, which is a fancy word for stitching of the two files, the exemplar and the 911 call.
All right, and specifically that type of demonstrative, what is that?
This is a spectrograph, which is what we had discussed.
All right, and that's the spectrograph that was created by Mr. Barrero, the defense expert, is that correct?
Correct.
All right, Judge, at this point in time, I would offer that as Commonwealth's. Forgive me, please, just a moment, let me get to my exhibits folder. Judge, that would be Commonwealth's 252.
252, any objection?
Yes, Your Honor.
What?
I believe this would be hearsay for him. He hasn't done any work on it. He's indicated he doesn't even use spectrograph.
Not hearsay. I'll overrule the objection.
So what observations did you make in your analysis of the defense expert's work?
Sure. If I could clarify,
Foundation.
I can certainly ask some more questions if we need. Let's talk about that piece of evidence specifically. Are you aware of how it was created?
yes,
Okay, can you tell us how it was created?
sure. The gentleman uses isotope audio, which is similar to Digidesign, Pro Tools. There's numerous software companies that have the ability to edit audio files. What he did here, as I stated, is he's using a visual representation of the sound file. So, as you can see here, they show the different formats, which he also stated as overtones or harmonics that are present within the sound signals, both sound signals.
All right, Judge, at this time, I would offer Commonwealth's 252 into
All
evidence.
right. All right. Oh, overruled. All right,
All right,
252.
please continue. What were
Sure.
your observations?
So my initial observations were that in the exemplar, aside from the fact that you had mentioned that there was over 5,100 seconds of audio, there was a 6-second sample that was used from the Lilly WAV file to compare to the 1.4 seconds that is shown here from the 911 call. Just to explain formants and overtones a little bit further than the other gentleman did, the fundamental frequency, which is the lowest frequency that he stated in this particular case, is 200 hertz. So what you would expect to see if you had a sound, if it wasn't coming from a signal generator or some sort of pure tone that illustrated a perfect sine wave, you're always going to have overtones. For example, in both of these, at this point, at this juncture point, they're both the fundamental tone, or F0 as he referred to it, as 200 hertz. What you would expect to find in any sound source minus a pure 200 hertz sine wave is overtones. Where those overtones occur, they occur on multiples. That's what he means when he's referring to formats. So here you have 200 hertz, your F1, your first format, 400, 600, 800. So the fact that two different audio files look similar because they're displaying the same overtones is normal for a 200 hertz sound if it's not a pure sine wave. And the other thing that I wanted to illustrate on this, can I fold this?
Please do.
Okay. So at the juncture point where he concatenated or stitched the two audio clips together, if I can demonstrate, if you can see this while I'm talking. This is a 7.5 second clip, the first 6 seconds, or his exemplar, the dog Lily moaning. This portion, if you can see it, is 1.4 seconds of where he took it from the recording. So if I do my best with folding and lining up, I think you can see here, I'm trying to keep it still. Nothing lines up until it gets to that specific point in time. Something else that I noticed that the gentleman didn't mention in his testimony when listening to his exemplar, the concatenation of the two sound files, there was no delineation between the two files. So I looked at it on waveform analysis and zoomed in on the waveform so I could see if there was any separation between the two files. And there was no point that I could see where there was any sort of ending to the first and beginning of the last, which to me would reflect that what was likely used when concatenating the files is what's called a crossfade, an X-fade. So as the first exemplar, the Lily file, fades out in volume, the other file, the 911 call, is coming in. So it's almost a mixture of both sounds, which makes it sound like one continuous file when you listen to it, when you hear the groan tail off into the 911 groan.
So what would we have heard differently if he had not used the crossfade?
Best practices, you would have heard a full 6 seconds of the exemplar, which start at varying pitch. There's quite a bit higher than the groan that's represented in the 911 call. And you would hear the point where they separate, and you would hear the two different ones to compare to.
Thank you. I'm going to shift gears here for a second. When were you asked to first examine these sound files?
I believe I received an email from Detective Bryant on September 29th of 2025.
Okay, so approximately a year and a half, almost 2 years after the murders were committed. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So when you were presented with these clips, the 911 clip and the Lily clip, were you given any background information about the 911 clip to further your analysis?
No.
Okay. Have you ever had the opportunity to watch any of the recorded statements of Juliana Perez Magalhaes?
No.
Okay, and did you witness her testimony here in this trial?
I did not witness her testimony. It wasn't until yesterday that I was released from viewing or discussing the case.
Okay, so when you performed your analysis of the 911 recording, specifically the hang-up, is it fair to say you didn't necessarily know what you were listening to? Absolutely. Did you know what you were listening to?
Sustained.
I knew what case it was affiliated with, yes.
Sorry, say that again for
I
me.
knew what case that it was affiliated with, yes.
Did you know if anyone was expected to speak in that recording? Did you know
No.
what to listen for?
No.
Okay, and how did you perform an analysis of that 911 hang-up call? What did you do with it?
I put it into Avid Pro Tools, which is audio software very similar to Isotope, what the other gentleman was using. And I looked at the waveform, and I did a waveform analysis and critical listening of the files.
And based on the waveform analysis and critical listening, what did you observe?
I observed, audibly, I heard the 911 telephone call and the computerized voice that's referred to at the beginning. And the operator asks, "Where is your emergency?" And upon inspection of the waveform, I saw that there were sounds present prior to the groaning sound that is heard on the 911 call.
Okay, so you're indicating in between the cessation of the 911 operator speaking and the beginning of the groaning, you heard something or you saw something,
Correct.
okay? Did you dig into that?
I did. So what I did is I separated that portion of the audio where I thought I heard something, and essentially in Avid, it's called clip gain. And on that one portion of the 911 call, I was able to raise the volume of what was heard just prior to the groaning.
And were you able to make out a human voice?
I heard what I believe to be a human voice, yes.
And what did the human voice say? All right, I think we do not have any further questions of you, Detective. Thank you so much. Please answer any questions that council might have for you.
Cross-examination.
Detective Augustine, what you've just shown is something from my expert's report, and it's a spectrographic analysis, isn't that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And you testified previously in the voir dire that you don't even work with spectrographic analysis, correct?
I stated that I'm familiar with spectrographic, but it's nothing that I've done prior.
But you don't use it as a tool in your analysis, correct?
It's a tool that I have available, but I haven't used it in the case.
Okay, and so in terms of best methods, is it appropriate to fold a piece of paper in order to make a comparison as best methods?
I determined that was the best visual way to represent it that would make it understandable.
Okay, and was there any effort at making a presentation to support whatever your conclusions were today, other than folding the paper?
No, this is all I was presented with and instructed to have my comments on.
And when were you presented that?
I believe I stated September 29th is when Detective Bryan sent it to me.
So, okay, so let me understand this.
Sure.
So you were just given one picture and asked to make an analysis?
I was given a complete report from the gentleman's forensic analysis, and I reviewed the entire report.
Gotcha. And did you prepare a report?
I did not.
Were you asked not to?
I was not asked to prepare a report. I was asked to comment on his findings.
Would it be best practices in the world that you're in to have prepared a report to something?
I'm going to object. It's argumentative and irrelevant.
Overruled, go ahead.
Speaking about best practices, would it
Yes,
have
sir.
been best practices to create a report with whatever findings that you wanted to tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
If I was instructed to do my own analysis, a separate report from this, I would say yes. But as reviewing this as a rebuttal witness, I didn't believe it to be necessary.
But you work for the Fairfax County Police Department.
Correct, sir.
So they could have asked you to do an analysis on your own.
Objection calls for speculation.
Sustained at this point.
You have the capacity to do a full analysis if you were asked, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And do you recall who got you involved?
Objection, relevance.
I'll sustain the objection.
Was it Detective Bryant?
Objection.
Sustain the objection. I'll sustain the objection.
I don't have any further questions,
All
Judge.
right, redirect.
Nothing, Judge. Thank you so
All
much.
right.
Thank you, Ms.
You're free to go, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your next witness,
Patrick Smith.
Patrick Smith. Sure. Want to come forward, sir?